Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. It's Tori, and today I'm going to be doing a little weekly update. Guys, we have actual sunlight. I'm so excited. It's amazing. We are out on a hike at a state park, which feels fabulous. I finished The Martian recently, loved it. Really loved it. Despite the fact that it's like a lot of science jargon, I really loved it. I don't know if you guys can see the lake behind me here. And small humans. There's some smoke going on over there. I don't know what that is about, but anyways. So yeah, I'm gonna go on the hike and then I will start Blade Itself later. So Ben.
Yes.
What are you reading right now?
I don't remember. I'm reading Pirate Freedom by Gene Wolfe.
Nice.
How
are you liking it?
Long time, but it's good. I'm really enjoying it. He does pirates well.
What is that?
Wild ginger.
Wild ginger, that's right. I don't think there's any growing right now. All right, we are leaving the overlook now. It's beautiful. It'll be even prettier when there's some green down there again. But I ditched the over jacket because it's warm. So it's warm. My body is used to like below freezing for the last 6 months, and it's like 70 degrees right now. And my body's like, so you've been sitting in a hibernation cave during winter for 6 months. What are you doing? How out of shape am I right now? Very. So the first thing I want to talk about is a book that I just finished this week. I actually finished 2 books this last week. The first one was Ascendant, 3 books. The other one was Legend, and the other one was The Martian. Now I'm not going to give you guys like full end of the month wrap-up thoughts on all of these, but these 2 were 5-star reads for me, which was awesome. That was a great way to start out the month. And Ascendant was a pleasant surprise. This was a book that I had been sent by author Michael Miller back in September, I believe. This is very YA, high fantasy, classic tropes done in a modern style. Dragon Rider, Chosen One, all of the things. Now, what surprised me about this was going into it, I was making sure that my expectations were set in the right way, because as you guys probably know if you've been watching my channel for a while, Chosen One trope is not my favorite typically. Dragons I love, they're cool, but I wouldn't say that I'm like one of those fantasy fans who just give me all of the dragon content. That's not really my shtick. That being said, I do love a good dragon story now and then. So when I got this, I wasn't really sure what to expect upon reading it, and I will say I was pleasantly surprised by this. This is a great coming-of-age story, and I actually really enjoyed it. So if you guys are in the mood for maybe a little bit of nostalgia, a little bit of a lighter read, it is over 500 pages, but it reads incredibly quickly. Yeah, this one was a pleasant surprise. And I'm going to talk more about that at the end of the month when I do my wrap-ups, but for now I'm just going to say that these 2 were 5-star reads. This one surprised me because there's a lot of science jargon in it. It tells the story in a way that's very artistic, which I really appreciated. This one is just such a classic, and the fact that I gave this book 5 stars and there's an insta-love trope in it should tell you something about this book. I'll have to go back and look at my 5-star reads on Goodreads because I don't know that I have ever given a book 5 stars if it has an insta-love trope in it. But David Gemmell really, really hit it out of the park for me with this one. It's brilliant. I really loved a lot of the characters. And for being a 1980s fantasy novel, I think it translates fairly well to 2020's fantasy crowd. And I realized this video is a little bit of a new format. I decided to try it out because I ran that poll on my community post asking you guys if you like weekly updates and just chatting about books and things. So we decided to try that because an overwhelming majority of you guys said that you did. Now I realized that my hair is all like not dry. You get very informal Tori today, and that's okay. The other thing is what I'm reading now. So I'm in the Keymark Discord's TBR Blitz Readathon as one of the 4 captains, which has been a blast. The other 3 captains are Derry and Kay and Jord, who has a new booktube channel. I will link all 3 of them down below in the description. So these 3 books were all for my readathon reads, and we have a max of 5 books. Now, as I talked about in my TBR, I'm not sure which second book in a series I'm going to do. I am leaning towards Fires of Vengeance if I have the time, because a lot of you guys were really excited for me to read that. So I think if I feel like I have a good amount of time and I can commit to that, I think I'm going to go for it. After I finished The Martian, I realized that I wasn't burned out of science fiction fantasy, but I needed just a little bit of a palate cleanser in between. And so I just pulled Silence of the Girls off of my bookshelf. Now this, I will admit, is a pretty heavy palate cleanser. So if you're looking for a palate cleanser and you're looking for a lighter version of that, this is probably not something I would recommend. It is incredibly heavy. This is a book that I had seen recommended by quite a few of my friends in the booktube sphere. And it is about basically the story of Achilles and Odysseus and Agamemnon and all of them back in the Trojan-Greek war time from the perspective of Briseis, who was Achilles' captive and essentially prize for his prowess in battle. So this is being told from the perspective of the women in the camp, the women who are captive by the Greek army and all of that. So it is heavy. There's a lot of content in here that is hard to read, so bear that in mind. It's very well written so far. I'm not sure, I mean, I read about, I think I read about 120 pages of this in one sitting last night. Yeah, so I picked this up. I will just be kind of puttering on that over the next week if I need a break from the other book that I am starting tonight, which I'm very excited about. So by the time that you guys see this video, I will have started this book. I am going to vlog my experience with this book. I really don't know what to expect going into this. I've heard all of the general buzz about this book. I know the names of the characters and all the things, and the fact that Sandan Glokta is the best character since sliced bread. So I know that. But I don't really know how I'm going to jive with this book. I anticipate loving it, and the poor thing has been sitting on my TBR for way too long. But I'm really looking forward to this, you guys. I'm excited to start reading that tonight. I do have a few books I wanted to show you guys. Oh, what was I gonna say? There was another book. Taipan. I don't know. I really, really would love to get to Taipan this month. I don't know if that's gonna happen. I don't know if I'm in the right headspace for another really big sweeping historical epic right now. I know it's smaller than Shogun. We'll see how I'm doing after 2 bigger fantasy books with The Blade Itself and Fires of Vengeance, because Blade Itself, if I absolutely love it, it's the beginning of a series, or a trilogy at least, so you know, I want to give myself some space to see how I'm feeling at the end of the month. And then Northanger Abbey, I think I'm putting on brief pause for a little bit. But again, this is a book that's really tiny, so I would be able to just kind of pick it up and throw it in between any of this kind of stuff if I need a break, which is nice. I like having a couple of those books on the side, and that's one of the reasons why I do try to give myself some space for mood reading every month, so that I'm not totally locked into everything I'm reading and feel like I don't have any space to just look at my shelf and grab a book because I feel like it. I typically gravitate towards smaller books when I do that, so I try to have a bunch of those on my shelf as well, and I have a ton, so I'm not hurting for small books to read if I need a palate cleanser. But I did want to show you guys, I did get a couple of review copies this week from a couple people, one of which I have been anticipating for quite a while, which I'm very excited about. And then prior to my April book buying ban, which has been going very well, I have not bought a single book in 11 days of April. And I fully intend, for those of you that are out there doubting me, because I know you're out there watching this, I will be able to get to the end of April without buying a single book. And I'm very committed to that, and I'm not here just to put that in a video and then be like, sorry guys, bought a bunch of books, whoops. I'm honestly overwhelmed by my bookshelves right now. There's so many amazing books that I really want to give the time and effort to, and I'm trying really hard to commit to staying clear of buying a bunch of new shiny things to take my attention away from the ones that I have. That being said, I finally got my copy, and this was right before April, I finally got my copy of Baptiste Poussin-Wu's second book of his Three Kingdoms China historical fiction series, which is called Heroes of Chaos. The first one, Yellow Sky Revolt, I really loved when I read it last year, and I was very excited for book 2 to come out. These read exceptionally fast. Yeah, they're like 300 pages and they read very fast. So I'm really excited to see how Baptiste moves this series forward. And I just think that this is going to be an amazing series when it's all finished. I got Seeds of War by Joao F. Silva, who you can find on Twitter. And I'm pretty sure there's a website. Yep, joaofsilva.net. Seeds of War. Now, this piqued my interest a while ago. I know that Joao had a couple of things that he was switching around, and then finally the book was coming out, and it was very exciting. And now I'm seeing some reviews coming out on this book, and I was super excited to read it prior to the reviews coming out. And then when people I know started reviewing it and loving it, I'm even more excited to get to this. It is a little bit of a chunk. It's, you know, not overwhelming. The font is fairly large, so I don't feel like it's a wannabe chunk. We'll give it wannabe chunk status. But I'm really excited about this. I've been hearing some banger reviews about this book, so I'm psyched to get to this. When I can get to it, I still have a few review copies ahead of it on my stack, but very excited to get to it. And then my friend P.L. Stewart was kind enough to send me book 2 of his Drowned Kingdom saga after I finished Drowned Kingdom last month. And I don't know when I'm going to get to this one yet, because I have, as you know, massive stacks of books everywhere, but I do fully intend to read this at some point when I'm ready to. And I'm excited to see where PL's going to take us next, because the ending of that first book, we left some characters in some limbo, so I need to know what happened. The readathon is going really well. Shout out to my Beanie Barbarian team. They have been incredible this last week, you guys. They've been so much fun. They've been amazing. So it's going to be fun. I'm really excited to see how the rest of this month shapes up for that. And I'm planning on, I'll probably end up finishing my readathon books, you know, about halfway, a little over halfway through the month. And I'm thinking I'm just going to give myself some time to grab something else mood read-y. I don't know what yet. I may reach for another review copy. I'm kind of thinking it's really hard to kind of plan out, or at least I have a hard time with this, trying to plan out what I want to talk about in videos. Sometimes I have really solid ideas and I know I really want to talk about this, or I really want to do this book review, etc. And then other times, like today, I was sitting on my bed and I was trying to figure out, okay, what am I going to do for this week? What do I want to talk about? I am, you know, obviously planning the vlog. There's a lot of, like, I need to get back to kind of content creation brain a little bit this week. And I think part of that is just because I've been putting so much into the readathon this last couple of weeks. And a lot of my time and creative energy has gone that direction. So now I need to just kind of sit back and figure out what videos I want to put out this month. As far as writing goes, I took about a 2-week break as the week before and week of the readathon starting to really put some focus on that. And also because I turned out a lot of words last month and I needed a little bit of a break. But come tomorrow, which will be today for you guys, I'm going to be hitting that book hard again, and I'm excited to get back into it. I plan on getting a huge amount of word count in this week, and there will be a certain point in the process where I would really like to vlog some of the experience of publishing the book, so that you guys can kind of go along that journey with me a little bit and see a little bit of the behind the scenes. And obviously more of that will be going on my Patreon, which if you don't know, I have one, and it's linked down below in the description. And I do a lot of extra writing content, bookish content. It's a exclusive Discord where we can chat about what we're reading, stuff, whatever. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video. Let me know down in the comments if you like these kind of laid back writing update videos, reading update videos, whatever kind of update videos they are. Let me know down in the comments if you enjoy this kind of a format, because I am totally open to trying new things on the channel and seeing what videos you guys enjoy. I hope you guys are having a great week. I hope you had an awesome Easter last week if you celebrate. I hope that you guys are reading 5-star reads this week, and I will see you in the next video.